My name is Sam Zimmerman. I'm so excited to get this panel going. To just give you all an idea about how tonight's session will run. Our main goal here is to give all of our potential new members, our PNMs, a deeper insight into how the whole Greek life experience is at Denison. So we'll be discussing what made you want to join Greek life in the first place, how it enriched your college experience, and just some of your favorite memories, things like that. We'll start out with some introductions and then we can jump right into some of the questions. And then at the end, we'll leave time open for anyone that wants to ask any questions. We can start out with some introductions. Each of our alumni can say your name, your graduation year, your affiliation, and where you're from. So anyone is welcome to just unmute themselves and start off. And we can just go around to each of our alumni.
Hi guys, my name is Lee. I graduated last year, this past May, so 2020. I am a Tri-Delta and I'm from Massachusetts, but I now live in Southern California.
Hi, I'm Brooke Phelps. I am a Kappa Alpha Theta. I'm currently the Columbus Alum Chapter president, actually. I graduated from Denison in 2012. I am from far outside of Cincinnati, but I currently live in Columbus.
Hey, I'm Brooke. Oh no, there's a stack. Oh, sorry. Great. I was reading. I can't multitask. I'm Brooke. I graduated with Lee, so May 2020. I'm from Cleveland, but I'm currently living in Columbus, and I am a Delta Gamma.
Hi guys, my name is Lizzie. I graduated in 2019. I was a Pi Beta Phi, and I'm from Boston, which is where I currently live.
Hi, I'm Laine. I was also a Pi Phi. I graduated in 2020 with Brooke and Lee, and I'm from California, but now work in Chicago.
Hello, I'm Sarah Amnsted. I graduated in 2018 and I am a Kappa Alpha Theta. I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio, but now I live in Columbus.
Hi everyone, my name's Maddie. I just graduated this past May in 2020 with some of the other girls who've already spoken. I'm a Tri-Delta and I already graduating, Jesus. I am from outside of Boston, but I'm soon moving to New York, very soon.
You all again. We have at least one rep from each of our chapters, so a lot of great different perspectives to hear from. So why don't we hop right into some questions? So I know there's a lot of different reasons why someone would want to join a sorority, and I would love to know some of yours. So if anyone's welcome to start, to just unmute yourselves and tell us why you wanted to join a sorority in the first place.
I can go. So I am someone who never really played a sport in high school. I'd never really been a part of a team before. So joining a sorority was something I had always wanted to do going into college. So I'm really happy I did because it really gave me a chance to feel like I was like a part of something. And yeah, good choice.
This is Brooke Phelps. I joined a sorority. So I was the first person in my family to go to college and first person to go Greek. So not a lot of my family or friends from home understood why. But part of why I wanted to join a sorority was a little bit of, I wanted that really traditional college experience. And Denison gives you that, right? It's 4 years residential on campus. And being in a sorority was part of that to me, but also part of finding a niche on campus. I was involved in a couple of clubs and things, but nothing that was really tight knit socially. And so that was something that appealed to me.
Do you want us all to like speak to each question, Sam, or to wait for some of them too?
Yeah, I think starting off, it'd be great to hear everyone's perspective.
Okay. Yeah, kind of just as Brooke and who else spoke? I'm already forgetting. I can't have everyone on my screen, but as Lizzie said too, I definitely was like something I was looking forward to, and I was lucky enough to be on the women's lacrosse team while I was at Denison as well. And one of the big reasons I picked Denison was because I wanted to be able to do both. And I feel like sorority life here is a good balance of it's super fun. You get to meet a lot of new people, but it's not overwhelming, which at some schools is just the case. So I really liked the balance and just having different people in your circle. And I also really loved going through recruitment. Like even after freshman year, you just meet so many people on campus, and it just grows a lot, and you have a lot more friendly faces. So I like just enjoyed the process of being involved in it. In your circle. And I also really loved going through recruitment. Like even after freshman year, you just meet so many people on campus, and it just grows a lot, and you have a lot more friendly faces. So I like just enjoyed the process of being involved in it.
Hi, this is Sarah Amnsted. I originally, when I first went to Denison, I was not interested in Greek life at all. But as I met women who were in my classes and who were in other organizations that I was involved with, I really like enjoyed getting to know some of the older women, and was like, oh, I really want to be like her, and that sort of thing. And so I joined because, you know, I wanted to continue to get to know women that I looked up to and form that bond that I saw.
This is Brook Styles, so the other Brooke. But I am kind of in the same boat that Sarah was in. I didn't really want to be in a sorority when I first went to college. I, like other Brooke, I'm a first generation college student, and other people in my family went Greek. And I was honestly terrified because you only hear the negative stories in the news and in the media. So I was so scared, but thankfully I was a theater kid. And so I had some friends in the theater who was like, absolutely rush or go through recruitment. You should definitely do it. It's not scary, pinky promise. And like Lee said, you have so many other faces of just not even the other women in your house, but going through recruitment, you meet everyone, and it's incredible. You have all of these faces. I mean, a bunch of these other women that graduated in 2020, I became friends with, even though none of us are in the same house. We were working collaboratively, and it's you have your team. So like Delta Gamma was like my team, but you're part of this larger team in being a sorority on Denison's campus, which is cool.
I'll go after that because that just completely encompasses why I joined. I got to Denison, and a lot of you guys can probably relate to this, how, you know, I was on campus, I wanted to meet some friends, and I know that this first semester was probably super hard for you guys. I know Denison was like kind of on lockdown, and it's scary. Like it's scary going to school and not knowing anyone. And I saw the camaraderie of anchor splash events that these houses were going through, and philanthropy events that we were all a part of, which I hope that you guys can experience next fall semester. But that's really what made me want to join, is because it was just these group of strong women who were coming together and just being awesome on campus and doing such fun things together. And especially in this time when we're living in a pandemic, I think it's more of a reason now than ever to join a house at Denison, because you got to find your family on campus. And going through recruitment, you're meeting so many awesome women, and you're going to find which house you want to continue your next years at Denison with.
All right, those are some great answers. I'm so glad to hear like so many similarities and in the ways that you guys wanted to join. So next question would be, do you have a favorite memory from your sorority? Lee, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I have lots. It was honestly such a good time. I miss it a lot, and I miss having, you know, those like built-in times with your friends on the weekend at chapter. I really loved recruitment this past year. Like right before the pandemic, which is not something you ever think you're going to say about recruitment. But I loved the last night so much. And in Tried Out, we do I think we call them Delta Hero speeches. And those were all really amazing and moving, and just kind of like, as a senior, seeing the growth from the past 4 years with these people you've known, because I remember my freshman year, hearing the seniors Delta Hero speech and then like coming full circle. It was just a really cool experience. And one of my roommates and one of my really good friends was the head of recruitment last year, and I was so proud of her that she pulled that off. And recruitment's such a crazy thing, but it's really fun to do all together. So that I have a ton, but that's just the first one that came to mind.
That's awesome. Anyone else want to take on this question? Your favorite memory from joining a sorority?
I can go. Similar to Lee, mine was also recruitment, which sounds crazy because it is, nerve-wracking and exciting, but it's great. At the last night, we kind of all go out and sing different songs, and kind of it's just like this big celebration, like your culmination of finishing recruitment and meeting people. And it's such a great time to come together as kind of Greek unity and just celebrating the work that we put in and the girls that we got to meet.
My favorite memory was Big Little reveal. And so that happens for most houses like a few weeks after you join. But like the week of Big Little reveal, like your big will leave you like all sorts of clues and like hints of who they are, like try to deceive you. But like going through that and then like putting those clues together when I was, got my little and help with my grand littles, I loved that. And then like my family was super close. Like you'll have like, your big and little, and then like the grand big, and you probably a family, and we would get dinner together every Sunday night. And so just like that, like close knit relationship that you develop with a handful of people in your house, that was something that was really special to me, and I loved, the Big Little week when you were preparing for that.
I think this is something that everyone can relate to, but my favorite would probably be bid day. It's always just like a lot of fun. It's so great, like finally just kind of opening your envelope and being a part of something and running down the hill to your house and everyone being so welcoming. It's really just like a day full of like so much excitement and cheer. So yeah, that's probably all of them combined. I think I don't really have one favorite one.
Next question will be, what surprised you about being in Greek life? Or is there anything that you learned afterwards that you wish you had known during recruitment or before recruitment? Lizzie, do you want to take this one on?
Sure. I think one thing is that I surprised myself was I was the recruitment chair for my class. And I was going to say that's also probably one of my favorite memories. I didn't really think I was going to love it. I've never kind of taken a leadership role like that before, but it was so rewarding and really surprising to me how much I enjoyed it. And yeah, definitely like proud of myself for that one.
This is Brooke Phelps. One thing that surprised me about being in Greek life is you go through recruitment and you'll learn about each sorority's philanthropy, cause that they support. And when I was going through recruitment, it kind of seemed like, oh, well, like this is something nice, like they tutor kids, great. But what surprised me is how passionate everyone is about their philanthropy. It's not just a token for most sororities. It is something that's really meaningful and that we all work together to support. So for Theta, our philanthropy is court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, and it helps provide representation to children who find themselves in the court system through no fault of their own. I can tell you so much about CASA because I am a Theta and because I'm an ambassador of it. And it was something that going through recruitment, I didn't give a lot of thought to, but later became really meaningful for me.
Well, this is more about the recruitment process in general. One thing that I really experienced going through recruitment is, I wanted to go in with an open mind. I didn't know where exactly was I was going. I had some girls I had met in each houses that I loved, but one thing that I think that is really important for all PNMs to keep in mind, because this helped me a lot, was taking advantage of my row gammas, and they will be with you every step of the way. And if you have any questions for anyone during the recruitment process, that is where you should go. And they are so unaffiliated and so there to help you, and will stay as long as they want talking to you guys and helping you through any questions, big or small, that you have. Yeah, that was just one thing that I was really grateful for during my recruitment process.
Kind of bouncing off of Laine, just as a PNM, I know physically walking to the house was always scary, of going up the steps and walking inside and hearing all of these women chanting and singing their songs. And then from the flip side of being in the house and being the one singing and chanting the songs, just know that all of the women that are in that house and are cheering, they're cheering for you and they have your back. It's not necessarily it's not a fight amongst the houses. We all want each house to get the women that best fit each house. We're all rooting for you. There's nothing that is, just weird, but just know that everybody is supporting you, and every woman wants to see you succeed, and every woman that you're talking to is excited for you and is genuinely interested in getting to know you.
Hi, sorry that I'm a little late. The person we had for Kappa had a emergency, so I'm here. I'm an active member though, so I graduated in 2022. I'm currently a junior, and something that surprised me about Greek life at Denison would probably be just echoing what other people have said, just how many networks and doors being in Greek life on campus has opened for me. So just now that I'm in Kappa, I've made friends in all the other Panhellenic chapters. I made friends that are in IFC chapters and the multicultural and national Panhellenic chapters as well. So it's I can meet all of these cool people. And when we go to these events and represent our chapter in leadership, or just even when we're wearing our letters on campus, people will see us and they'll think, wow, that person's such a good leader, or this person is representing this org. So it's you just have a lot of opportunities to be a person that people can look up to, and just a person that can have a lot of experiences to meet so many new people that you probably wouldn't have met if you didn't do Greek life. Doing Anchor Splash, you'd probably meet tons of people in other Panhellenic chapters on campus that you probably didn't meet going through recruitment. So it's really exciting to kind of have that opportunity.
Yeah, so many great answers. There's definitely, I know, the learning curve, once you get past recruitment, you think you have learned so much about the process, but you learned so much more, and there's lots of pleasant surprises along the way. Thank you for all your responses, guys. So the next question would be, Lizzie spoke to this earlier a little bit, but did you have a leadership role in your sorority? And can you talk about your experience or how it helped you grow?
I can take on that one. A couple women have brought up Anchor Splash, and that is so that you know what Anchor Splash is. Delta Gamma, our philanthropy deals with the blind, and so Anchor Splash is more of a fundraiser that is campus wide. All of the sororities, all the fraternities, everyone gets involved in it. I had the pleasure my senior year of being the director of Anchor Splash, which is super, super fun. And everybody comes together in the pool and we splash around, we raise some money, and we have a heck of a lot of fun doing it. I know that's where Laine and I became better friends, just from working with Pi Pis. And I know just watching people, it is so much fun. And even before I was director of Anchor Splash, every year, every single person gets so into it and gets so excited. It's a week long of tabling.
I know like the last day of tabling, so that Friday before Anchor Splash, which is on a Sunday every year, that Friday we have like spot a DG. And so you have to take a selfie with a DG. And this year, you know, if you found me, you got 3 points. And it was always so fun of just watching people run up to random DGs and just asking to take a photo. But, you know, everyone's coming together. Everyone is having so much fun doing it. And it really helped me in my professional life moving forward, because Anchor Splash is so many moving parts. You're working with so many people. You are networking like crazy. And even not in my position of everyone else, they're networking like crazy. They're having fun with each other. They're creating this stronger bond within their chapters. You know, just either making dances or making sure that they are putting the most amount of coins in a bucket that they possibly can, or if it's last minute fundraising. But it was just really nice having that leadership position and being a leader amongst leaders, because I knew that I could count on every single woman in my chapter, that if something fell through, I could immediately call upon and be like, hey, can you help me do this? And they'd drop everything, be absolutely. I know Jamie Swickard was on my like favorites list for a good 3 months of just calling her nonstop and being like, can you please help me? I have no idea what's going on. So leadership positions in sororities are incredible. 10 out of 10 suggest.
Yes, that also touches on my favorite moments in my sorority is Anchor Splash. I literally have my selfie with the DG at the mailroom right there. You literally go around to everyone taking photos, have them all on my phone still. But I also was like Lizzie. I was recruitment chair for Pi Phi last year, and Sarah's this year, and she's going to do an awesome job. But that really was just like an incredible experience. You know, when you take a leadership position in your house, it's like you're elected to it. And so you really are like charge of whatever, if you're vice president of philanthropy, president, membership. But that is really awesome, seeing like your whole house come together and just support you through it. It was the most rewarding thing I've ever done, really. And one thing that I loved about that's special to Greek Denison Panhell is that like during recruitment, I remember we had our group text with all of our membership recruitment chairs during my year, and we were all like texting each other after the rounds, like, how are you guys doing, like checking in on each other, because that's just like the spirit of Denison recruitment, is like you are all working together. And so like we had all the houses coming together being like, how are you? You doing good? Like you need any food help? Even though we're in different houses, like it doesn't matter. That's the like what's so great about Denison recruitment.
This is Brooke Phelps. I'd like to offer a different take on it. So I was not an executive level position. I was chapter historian, and it was awesome. So in the sororities, just like organizations, you have different levels of positions. And a lot of times recruitment and philanthropy are executive level positions. They, require a lot of work. I knew that was something that I couldn't well balance with my schedule, with work, classes, all of that. But I still wanted to take on a leadership role. So I was chapter historian. And it fit really well with my interest and what I liked. I was a history minor, but also it was part of my responsibility to go through the historical archives that we had and share them with the chapter and remind our chapter that we have been part of a sisterhood at Denison and nationally for now Theta for 151 years. And so that was a really special thing that I was able to make my interest part of my job.
I'll jump in and talk about something Laine touched on. I think another really amazing thing about leadership positions is, at least first of all, in Tri-Del, we have so many positions that I think my year, almost everyone had one, which is really cool. Like Brooke said, it can be something kind of to your commitment level. And I was VP of Tridel last year, VP CD of chapter development. And I think something really empowering about a leadership position in a sorority is that you are elected by your peers. So a lot of times, you know, when you're in the professional world, you can go after a promotion, or you kind of like, you know, talk yourself up, or you get recognized by your boss. But for me, after graduating, it like instilled so much confidence that I had taken on like a really large leadership role, and it was given to me like by people I'm really close to. So it was, you know, like an honor to have people choose you and be like, my role like required confidentiality and a lot of different things like that. So then kind of going into the work field, I felt like it's crazy how much you can say a sorority position like translates into kind of like needing to have all your ducks in a row for recruitment or anchor splash. Like these are absolutely massive projects that you're not going to have like at a job your first year out of college. And so it's just really great experience, and to kind of get comfortable with that. And it can be on any level, like Brooke said. So that was something that I think was really I loved about my senior year, was getting to be that position, and also knowing that your sisters want to confide in you and that they've chosen you for that position is really great too.
Yeah, going off of that, I think like also being elected by your peers, it gives you a sense of confidence in yourself that you might not be able to find elsewhere, like if you're applying for a job. But having that has like helped me after graduation, just like kind of having that confidence myself. I had never taken on a leadership role like that before, but it's like crazy, like Lee said, like after knowing I could do that, dealing with recruitment and like there's so many moving parts, like I feel like I can literally do anything.
Yeah, it's
just
true.
kind of anything. So it definitely helps like outside of Denison and in the real world.
Yeah, I also, I jumped right into leadership when I was in Theta at Denison, and it's had like some very direct impacts on like my life after college. So the first role I had was alumni liaison for the collegiate chapter, and now I'm currently the young alum liaison for our Columbus alumni chapter. So I'm kind of like in that first leadership role, I was working with, you know, alums, and I'm still doing that even after college, but in kind of a reverse capacity. And then professionally also, I was the chief financial officer of Theta my junior and senior year. And I just budget and love numbers, finance, and that's what I've gotten involved with professionally. And having the experience to, you know, for 1 year, practice professional skills that are related to things that I'm interested in pursuing as a career. It's really great because I was able to learn like, okay, I like this aspect and I don't like that aspect, and able to kind of think about like, okay, if I were to do this for a larger organization, or if I were to focus on one aspect of what I'm doing as a CFO, what would that look like? So it really does, the leadership roles, you know, from, you know, minimal involvement to executive positions can really help you develop personally and professionally.
Definitely, yeah. I can definitely attest to the growth that comes from taking on a leadership position. On the Panhellenic level, I know that I've grown so much, and I can see how these skills can just transfer over to life after college. And I think that's a really great segue into our next question, which is, how has being affiliated with your sorority helped you after college? I know that there's lots of transferable skills, like we've mentioned, a couple of you've mentioned, but if you want to take us a little bit more into detail about how being in a sorority has prepared you for life after college. Lee, do you want to start us off again?
Sure. Well, life after college is currently COVID, so I think it's a little different than maybe some of the alumni that graduated not last May. But I think that whenever you get the chance to be a part of a group of women, a group of teammates that, you know, you guys have come together, but you are not all the same person, and you just are like-minded, but you have to, you know, see through each other's differences and kind of come together. That's a lot like finding your place in the workplace. And like the company that I am working for now, I was majorly attracted to their mission statement. It was something aligned with what I wanted to do, but obviously there's different levels, just like there's different ages, and you have to learn people's seniorities and learn how to be respectful and helpful and all of that. And I just think that anytime you have the opportunity to learn from people that aren't the same as you, it always helps you grow as a person. So I think just always being open and receptive to different positions, different girls in your house, and really just coming together and recognizing that you have an opportunity to get to know people that maybe you wouldn't have if you hadn't decided to go through recruitment, is something that always helps you on the outside world, just being open-minded for everyone that you meet. So that is my, 6 months outtake. I guess it's been more than 6 months, but like, what is time now?
Definitely, COVID has definitely messed up the job market. Does anyone from that have graduated back further a little bit have anything to weigh in on this question of how being in a sorority helped them post-grad?
So this is Brooke Phelps. I can say I got my first job after grad school because of a fellow Denison and Theta alum. It was just a networking thing, and she wasn't currently in the position, and Sarah Amnsted actually has this job now. So there's a thing called the LSC Fellowship Program for the state of Ohio. I was a politics major, loved politics, huge nerd, had never heard of this program. I met this woman at a Denison networking event, and she was like, oh yeah, I did this thing a couple of years ago before grad school. It was pretty cool. I looked into it and I applied, and I would have never known about it if it weren't for her. And she provided me with a great recommendation. So it was definitely the career networking that helped me and helped launch my career when I was working in politics.
And I think also with networking, the experience of going through recruitment and learning to talk to, just someone that you're meeting for the first time, you don't know anything about them. They might be more chatty or less chatty than you. And so like that kind of like learning experience that you have through recruitment is valuable, and just continuing to work with different types of people in your house and other houses is a great skill that you'll take with you.
I think along that, a lot of like Denison, the beauty of it is that it's a small campus, right? And your chapters are smaller compared to these big schools like Ohio State, right? And so one thing that I know, obviously I was part of class of 2020, so I'm fresh out of Denison, but when I was looking for jobs, I mean, there were seniors at Denison when I was a freshman back in 2016, and they were working at these companies. And so I would reach out to them, and that's really a really great networking connection because your chapter is small, so you can really network within your houses really well, which is a great leg up in the application process or your internship internships. But then, so there's that. And then there's also just the part of what I've taken with me. One thing with college getting cut short, really short, we got gypped of like 3 months. One thing that I've really taken with me is the importance of just like my friends that I made in my house. Like we obviously were super sad in March when we got the email saying you have 5 days to pack up all your stuff and get off campus. And we have made it like our mission that we are meeting up once a year, the weekend of March 16th, and coming back together and seeing each other because we just want to like celebrate our end of college together. And, we want to keep our friendships that we've made. So that's one thing that I'll always have with us after graduation.
Clearly, we are not over this, guys. So it's not free for anyone.
We just got an email about when our senior week is going to be, like 2021 or 2022.
Wait, Laine, I didn't get that. My Denison email has cut me out. But anyways.
I'll forward it.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel so bad for you guys. Last year's graduating class, COVID really messed it up, but I mean, we're trying to do the best we can this year with recruitment and just trying to make sure we can get people as involved and get that real college experience and sorority experience. So fingers crossed that the vaccine like comes through and this all ends as soon as possible. But you guys were mentioning the power of networking, and I also have like a very short personal story. I was getting an internship and one of the interviewers actually was not in my sorority, but was in a different sorority, but just that connection that she also had that experience. And it actually, I think, helped boost my resume amongst like my other, the other candidates. So something cool there. So I think we're going to look at kind of just close out our questions, look towards the chat for the PNM questions. And then I also have a couple on Instagram that I'm going to look at, but we have one in the chat right now. How did you know that your house was for you? Anyone want to take a stab at that one?
This is Brooke Phelps. I actually like totally had a real enlightened moment when it was the last night of recruitment. And I realized that I should choose the house for who I was and not who I thought I wanted to be. It was about not like what kind of person I thought I was going to be later in life. It was like, who am I right now? And am I going to click with these people?
Sorry, I'm gonna pop on real quick. If you don't know me, I'm Lucy. I'm the VP of recruitment for Panhell. I just wanted to say that for me, like especially there's like some beauties and then some difficulties with second semester recruitment. Unfortunately, you can kind of get preconceived ideas of certain houses, kind of like what Brooke was saying. And I feel like through recruitment, you really just, by having these conversations with these other women, you just know. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good consensus. Like, there's one house or maybe several, but like for me, one just stood out that I just felt the most comfortable, even if I didn't necessarily see myself in that house before recruitment.
I think going off of that, something that kind of made me realize that like the house I chose was the house for me was just the personal connection I felt with the members and knowing that basically going along with what Brooke said is how like who am I right now? Because I mean a lot of people will think that they might change who they are, but if you're joining the sorority, you should be joining the one that fits you and not like what do you think is the popular one, because I mean at the end of the day you're joining to have genuine good friendships, and if you're not joining in it for genuine reasons and you're kind of that's not like you're not going to have as good of an experience in the chapter as you would if you joined for other reasons, because I mean you're joining because you want a sisterhood, you want connections, and it's really hard to make friends with people if you're kind of having like a personality that isn't your normal personality, or you're kind of almost acting that way you can fit into this certain crowd that you might not belong into. And I think like with Denison, since we have 5 chapters, you can find the place that you belong in without having to act a certain way. Like there's a chapter for everyone. And I think that's something really important to remember when you're going through recruitment, is to keep an open mind and just like know that wherever you end up is truly the place that you're supposed to be.
I also think an important thing to remember, I really agree with what everyone said before, which is like so wonderful to hear from so many different houses that were kind of all aligned on that. But it's to remember that the girls that you meet throughout recruitment will still be your friends, even if you choose another house. That was something that I remember was really stressed to me and made a big difference, because I really enjoy going through recruitment. Whether it's virtually or in person, you're going to meet a lot of people you click with. But I think you should just strive to join the house you feel most comfortable with, and always know that you've just expanded your circle and you can be friends with all the girls, like anyone you meet during recruitment or on campus or whatever. It's not so exclusive to your house. You're going to live with other people. You're going to be on teammates with other people and be good friends with other people, especially at Denison. So go with what everyone's been saying and like listen to your gut and where you're most comfortable so that you can grow.
I remember the night that we placed our final preferences for which house you wanted to go to. I remember it was late. We were all tired. We had just gone through 3 days of recruitment, and my friends and I all sat at a table in Slater and were like eating cheeseburgers. And I remember I like know exactly who was at the table, and everyone was saying like where they preffed, which you're not supposed to do. But we were telling because we were friends. So, and I remember each of us said like a different house that we preffed. Like not one of us said the same house, and we are still all like great friends. And that's just like a testament to just kind of like the spirit of recruitment. Is just like you're gonna be friends with everyone in Panhell. Like you're joining the Panhellenic community. And you know, when you're going through it, you're gonna go to some houses and you can tell in yourself, you're gonna be like, I'm so excited to go back and talk to more people in this house. So as silly as this sounds, like you know when you know going through the recruitment process.
Those are all really great pieces of advice. Wow, you guys. So we have another question in the chat. Grace asked, how will recruitment look like this year? I know we're trying to get some of the details panned out still, but Lucy, do you have anything that you want to add right now?
Yeah, so Sarah on this call, so I, as VP recruitment for Panhell, I work with all of the recruitment chairs from each chapter. So Sarah and I have been best buddies throughout this whole process. But basically, as of now, recruitment will be virtual, but we are allowing the groups of PNMs to meet in person with their Rho Gammas. So you're gonna have like some sort of in-person connection with some, and your Rho Gammas, like someone said earlier, are gonna be like amazing. And I've been working with them and they're just so excited to do this. Bid day is still kind of up in the air. But we have some surprises for everyone going through recruitment in store. We're trying to make this process as fun and as normal as possible. I know it's a little bit of a downer, but it's really not up to us. It was up to nationals. They've been kind of a pain. Sarah, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, obviously this year is really, really different, and that doesn't mean that recruitment's not going to be different, but just because it's different doesn't mean it's going to be bad. And we're really looking forward to meeting all of you, and the chapters are so excited to meet you, even if it's on a virtual platform. You know, that's just like the new normal right now. So it is what it is, and we're really, really excited. It's going to be super special. So just look forward to seeing you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be different, but it's still going to be great. And then we have one last question that was submitted through Instagram. So what has your experience been like as an alumni member? I think Sarah and Brooke Phelps, you spoke on this a little bit. Do you care to add anything about the alumni experience?
Yes, I do. So this is Brooke Phelps. I went through recruitment as a sophomore in spring semester. I did formal recruitment as a sophomore, and I was really passionate about my sorority experience, and I knew that continuing it as an alum was something that I wanted to do. The alum networks are amazing. So I'm the president of the Columbus Theta alum group, and I've also served on national committees for Theta. I've gotten to go to our grand convention twice as an alum, and it's amazing. The alum networks are fabulous. You get all of the fun and none of the mandatory meetings and high dues. It is really a great time. Also, it's a wonderful way when you're moving to a new town or location to meet people. Most alumni networks have interest groups for different places in your life. And also, we work together with other Greek life organizations. So Panhell exists beyond undergrad. We've had happy hours with Tridelt, and we've done service events with some men's fraternities. So it's really a positive continuation of that experience in a way that is a little lower pressure and involvement.
I think also through being in a sorority, and not saying you don't meet girls in other grades without being in a sorority, but I think being in one helps that, to meet girls that are older than you and younger than you. And being an alumni, it's definitely helped me like stay on top of what's happening at Denison, because I get to talk to the younger girls that I still know very well. So that's also a great part of it, on the alumni side.
For sure, for sure. That's such an exciting part too, is that you really do get to be a part of these, organizations for life, which is crazy to think about, but it's a great way to stay connected to Denison. And yeah, stay connected to people in different cities and everything, which is also really cool. So I think that concludes our panel. I want to thank you all so much for joining. Thank you to all of our potential new members, and thank you to our alumni who joined. Right now, I'm just going to drop in the chat. We might have another question. I'm going to drop in the chat the recruitment signups, and also we had a question about what to wear for Rush. So I just have the link to our Pinterest that has all of like a bunch of different pictures and like inspiration for what you should wear during Rush. And we have one last question from Sarah. What is it like to work with your philanthropy? Do the sorority sisters travel for their philanthropy? Does anyone want to take this one?
Sure, I can. So I think most houses of different types of philanthropy activity. So you have like big fundraising events on campus, so like Anchor Splash or Theta did Cats with Bats when I was there. But they also will go off campus to work sometimes with different organizations. Like I know my friend in but I'm not sure if it was specifically affiliated with her philanthropy, but she did like with elementary students off of campus. And so it kind of depends on exactly what type of philanthropy you have. But even as alumni, like Brooke and I are still involved with CASA, kind of special advocates here in Franklin County, like fundraising for them and helping them with some of their trainings. So it's kind of there's a variety of options when you're on campus and after you graduate.
Hi, I'm Helen with Kappa, and for us, we actually have different local philanthropies in the Ohio area each semester. And we went to the Licking Humane Society to walk dogs one semester. We used to volunteer at the Kendall Retirement Facility just outside of campus, and then the Boys and Girls Club. And then this past year, we only did an online philanthropy because of COVID.
Just to add for Tridel, we get to actually travel to St. Jude's Place, which really didn't go on the trip. My friend went on the trip. She absolutely loved it. It was her favorite part of Tridel. So that's really cool. You get to go to St. Jude's Place at the hospital, the whole wing, and get to meet a lot of St. Jude's patients. And that's just another way to connect, with your philanthropy and really see like firsthand. I think that's a really fun part of being in the sorority. And so for Tridel, we definitely do travel a bit, which is really cool that you can be involved with that.
Philanthropy is obviously a huge part of all of the sororities, so we all get really involved in that. And there's lots of, during not COVID times, it's really great to be super involved. And that's honestly where I think most of the women get to bond and like you get to work towards raising money for such great causes. Lucy Everett is our VP of recruitment on the Panhellenic board, so you can hit her up with any questions you have. But otherwise, thank you all so much for coming, and I'll hang on the Zoom if you have any final questions. But otherwise, we'll see y'all soon.
Nice to see you guys.
Bye.
Denison. Bye, guys.
Thanks so much for coming.